Hello, this is Kirk Beebe. I'm a Senior Director in Discovery and Translational Sciences at Metabolon, and today I want to walk you through an example of metabolomics being used to expose or identify a therapeutic opportunity in a particular type of cancer. So before I get into the details, just the backdrop here is kind of important, and that is that this is a common problem across different therapies in cancer. In this case, it's chemotherapy, but it's a particularly difficult problem with targeted therapies, that is drug resistance. And this, in this particular example, this was actually in a childhood cancer, ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, where it's a very treatable disease, but of course some patients do experience relapse. And through genomics, they had found a mutation in about 20% of relapsed ALL patients, but there really wasn't a clarity on how this mutation drove resistance. So in order to understand how it drives resistance and therefore treat it, needed to understand the function. And that's where metabolomics came in. So basically, metabolomic profiling, looking at cells that had this mutation, showed that these cells were not just effluxing or spitting out the chemotherapeutic, but they also at the same time were non-selectively effluxing nucleotide precursors, so things that were important for cell replication, cell division, the DNA precursors. So this exposed a vulnerability for the cells that the researchers at Columbia then used against these cancer cells by taking an inhibitor against a rate-limiting enzyme in this pathway, IMPDH, and blocking that pathway and showing that you could overcome resistance both in vitro and in vivo. So to ultimately improve the therapeutic potential with patients that have this this particular mutation. So just in summary, this study, and you can read about it more in Nature, is published in Nature last year. Again, researchers at Columbia in collaboration with Metabolon showed that you could combine very nicely information from genetic sequencing that exposed this mutation, but then uncovering the function with metabolomics to then devise a therapeutic strategy. So I think all in all, this is a really nice example of showing how metabolomics combined with genomic sequencing can deliver the maximum amount of value in these difficult cases in oncology where there's therapy resistance and there's a need to try and come up with additional therapeutics.